You kept pushing on, but then you went too far. When your ship has sailed and all your dreams are lost, everything is wrong, you feel like it's your fault. Just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just remember. Just remember. Just remember. You're stronger now than you ever been. You gotta leave now, it's time to catch the wind. You will climb up high and look through the clouds, and when you're feeling low, I know you'll bounce back. Oh, and just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just remember. Just remember. Just remember. Just remember.
From Kansas Speedway, the Tuesday Night NASCAR Truck Series is ready to have our weekly finale right here on Tuesday night. Good evening, everyone, and welcome here to Kansas, where, of course, in America's heartland, we have nothing but corn as high as the eye could see and competition hotter than the surface of the sun. I'm Dave Regal here in the Tony Trapasso Memorial Broadcast booth, and I'm with you every step of the way, from the green flag to the checkered flag, right here on Sim Racing Media. And folks, glad to have everybody in with us tonight as qualifying is just over halfway finished, and most of our drivers have already completed their qualifying runs as we get ready to roll here tonight. Let's take a quick peek at our current conditions. It's definitely going to be an interesting race tonight. A little bit of cloud cover, as we can see that here over top of your screen. That track temperature is all the way down here into the 70s, so plenty of grip for the truck drivers tonight, as of course we've had a Cup Series race, an Xfinity Series race, and now we have the finale of this week here in the round of 10. And of course, the big story for tonight is the fact that it's also cut week, and that's going to have a lot to do with that. Of course, here we are in the final week of the round of 10. Next week we go to Talladega Super Speedway for the round of 8, so two drivers won't be making it in the playoffs next week. So we're going to start to see a lot of these guys really dig in tonight and see if they can get that last transfer spot, especially if they don't already have the win in their belt that they need to transfer. Hunter Kent and Brandon Minto already winning here during the round of 10. Hunter Kent not even a playoff driver, so that's going to be a big deal. So as we take a quick peek here, Brandon Minto, he's got his win, so he'll automatically transfer, and that's going to have a lot to do with what we have next, as of course Hunter Kent, a non-playoff driver. So in this round of 10 right now, on the outside looking in is going to be Stoney Benfield. He hasn't run a race in quite some time, and he's only got one win on the season, so he would be in a must-win situation. John Wilco and Rich Jett, same way. They don't want to have to be looking from the outside in next week as we go to the 2.66-mile super speedway just outside of Birmingham, Alabama in Talladega. And, of course, Daniel Moynihan, and get all of your Moyna fans up in the air. He's got to be pretty comfortable right now, but he definitely wants to try to notch a win in his belt and make the automatic transfer as well. So Jeremy Paris, our points leader right now, he leads the way by 29 points over Gabriel Lafreniere, 36 to Claude Ferland, and 49 and 58 to Minto. So fortunately for some of these drivers, especially Minto being automatically transferred over to the round of 8, that's got to feel pretty comfortable for him overall. So going to be an interesting night here at Kansas Speedway. We've had a lot of action all week long here in the Sunday Night NASCAR Family of Racing Series, and I'll tell you what, these drivers all season long have been putting on a great show, and I can't wait to see what we have going on tonight as we pop in there to the live chat. Let's get a hold of Jeremy Paris right now, as he is our points leader with a pretty comfortable lead right now. Hey, Jeremy, it's Dave up in the booth. You got me?
Hey, Dave, what's going on?
Buddy, it's Tuesday night, so you know the deal here. I mean, what's going on down there in the racetrack? You're nice and comfortable there for the 05, as far as getting transferred over to the round of 8. You don't really have to worry, but there's going to be a lot of drivers that have that target right on your back.
Yeah, maybe Tane. I made one of the dirtiest passes ever last week at Bristol on Tane, so he probably owes me one. Now, we talked about it. I think we're all good, but in real life chat, he probably does owe me one.
Yeah, he kind of does. I mean, I won't deny that for sure. But all things considered, you've got the 05 in a great position tonight. Now, qualifying just wrapping up. Here we are going into the warm-up session. How does the truck feel tonight? How did it feel during practice? And what are you looking forward to now that we've got that nice and comfortable track temperature?
Yeah, I was a little snug in practice, so we're going to try to free it up here and warm up. But all in all, it's a drafty mile and a half in a truck, so, I mean, anything can happen.
Yeah, we've had some great races. We went caution-free on Sunday night in the Cup Series. Just a couple of cautions for cause last night during the Xfinity Series. What do you think, your drivers here in the Truck Series, everybody generally keeps their wits about them on the racetrack. How do you feel about being around some of these different drivers, especially as we get into the latter stage of the season, and we do sometimes see those new names that are popping in?
Yeah, everybody seems to be real good. They're fun to race with. It's a good group of guys. I think it'll run green. We may have some early cautions, just impatience, but I think that last stage is going to run green.
Well, I guess we'll have to all tune in and see what happens. We appreciate your time, Jeremy. Thank you very much. We're going to get you back up in there to the where'd you go here? Into the free agent channel, or the race chat channel. We appreciate you, man. Good luck tonight.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Next up here tonight, going to be my Sunday Night NASCAR broadcast partner extraordinaire, my brother from another mother, Mr. Matt Metler. Yo, Metler.
Mr. Regal. Not lonely by ourselves.
Well, buddy, listen, first off, I appreciated the time that we got to spend together last night. Realistically, any moment that I spend with you is well spent, for sure, and most of the time, by the time we're done, I am spent. You did pretty well last night until bad things happened to you in the Xfinity Series. What are you feeling tonight here in the trucks?
Honestly, I'm struggling to find speed. I think I'm being a little too conservative on the loud pedal, as we like to call it up there in the booth. But the setup feels good. The truck feels stable. I'm struggling a little bit in the speed department, but plenty of good competition out there. I'm going to see if I can just latch on to someone, use them as the tutor, and see what we can figure out as we go.
Now, as I was walking from the parking lot up to the broadcast booth, there was a guy in a trench coat saying that he had speed. Is that the kind you were looking for? Or?
Well, that might help.
Okay, I mean, listen, he said he's got speed and he knows where I can get more. I just assumed so. I have a bottle of it. He said not to take more than 7 at a time.
No more than 7.
Yeah, 7. That was the number that he chose.
Gotcha.
mean, he said that if you take too much of it, you're going to wind up standing outside of a methadone clinic. So I don't know what to do with this. But listen, buddy, I mean, good luck tonight. Of course, when I see you sitting around, I can't resist it. I've got to get a hold of Daniel Moynihan. But good luck tonight, brother, and hopefully you can bring one home for me.
I'm going to try, man. We're going to see if we can, as you said, stay out of the bad things and see what we can do.
All right, brother. Good luck.
Thank you, man. Have a good call up top, buddy.
That the voice of Matt Metler, and last but certainly not least, before we get underway here, Daniel Moynihan out of Boston, Massachusetts. Yo, Daniel.
What's happening, Dave?
Buddy, listen, first off, I just wanted to hear that beautiful baritone sound out of your face. But, you know, the other thing is, here we are in the playoffs. We've got this round of 8 ready to rock and roll next week at Talladega. And you're kind of in a weird spot right now. What do you think you've got to do to make sure that you transfer over?
Well, I mean, as long as I have a decent finish here tonight. I mean, last week was kind of rough. You know, I wasn't expecting to do super well at Bristol, but not get wrecked out as I did. But some stage points last week really kind of saved my butt, and now I just really need a decent finish here tonight. Hopefully top 10, or better yet, top 5. And I think I'll give myself enough distance from that cut line.
Yeah, the cut line is what everybody wants to stay away from. I mean, the only cut lines that you really want to be around is white powder, that's for sure. That's the second drug reference I made tonight. That's the cut line you really want. What happened? Can you imagine they pay me to do this stuff?
I can't believe it.
They left me unattended. There's nobody here to babysit me. I don't have anybody to reel me back in. I just do what I want. But listen, Larissa's here in the live chat. I wanted to let you know that Larissa's here in the live chat. The Moyna fans are in the chat. They're in the house tonight. And you and Minto generally have the biggest cheering sections. How do you wind up getting so many people to follow you?
You know, I just, like I said last week, I just kind of send out the link, and you know, they come by and they watch. I mean, I will say they love your commentating as well. So I mean, you definitely help bring an audience around.
I'm just here to entertain and inform, buddy.
Seriously, dude.
But listen, good luck tonight. We got to get our starting lineup. Go hop inside the window net. We'll see you on the other side.
All right, sounds good, Dave.
Later, bro. That, of course, the voice of Daniel Moynihan with his golden pipes out of Boston, Massachusetts. The Rabbi Ben Garrity here. He's not really a rabbi. He's barely old enough to drive a real car, much less a virtual race car. He's going to be your pole sitter tonight. Let's take a look at our starting lineup as we get ready to rock and roll. There's the old cursor. Let's get moving here. The Rabbi Ben Garrity, he's going to be starting on the pole position with Jeremy Paris, our points leader, sitting to the outside. Mikey Mac McConville out of South Jersey, he's going to start on the inside of row number 2 with Ohio's Chris Custer on his outside. Row 3 is going to feature Tane Hodison and Norman, Oklahoma's very own Brandon Minto, while Will Young and Mr. 305 Randall Watkins starting in 8th position tonight. Logan Giesbrecht and Sylvain Joly going to round out your starting top 10, while Gabriel Lafreniere and Derek Baycorn hold things together in row number 6. Daniel Moynihan, who we just heard from out of the JGR stable, he's going to be on the inside of row number 7 alongside of Matt Mackin in his traditional 01, while Anthony Savignano has the 50-cent piece starting on the inside of row number 8 alongside of John Wilco from McAdoo, Pennsylvania. Row number 9 is Diego Rodriguez with Chris Claude to the outside in 18th position, while Claude Furland, another neighbor from the north, sits alongside Keith Long in row number 10. Rich Jett and Matt Metler, my brother from another mother, and of course one of the 2 voices and really one of the best in the business here at Sim Racing Media. They'll be in row number 11, and starting shotgun on the field tonight going to be Richard Pruitt. 134 laps, the total scheduled distance tonight as we get ready to rock and roll. We want to thank everybody for tuning in as we work our way into turn number 3. The iRacing.com pace car leads Ben Garrity and the Team Conti Double G number 65 into turn 3 and 4. And as the iRacing.com pace car comes on out of pit road, the only thing that's left to do is it's time to wipe the visor and adjust the 5-point harness. Grandma, grab those sweet cheeks, a cob of corn, and settle in. Race fans, it's show time! Green flag in the air, and off we go on lap number 1. Benjamin Garrity now has the 05 of Jeremy Parrish just behind him. Drivers quickly going single file here in the top 3 as Mikey Mac McConville goes side by side now with the 66 of Chris Custer. We take a look as Mikey Mac's going to work the low side here, and it looks like he's got the Great Pumpkin Charlie Brown on the front of the 1. I'm taking a total shot in the dark here. I'm not exactly sure what this paint scheme is. Let's take a look. And sure is. That's definitely the Great Pumpkin Charlie Brown. Appreciate you. As we take a look here at the Okie number 12. All of a sudden, Brandon Minto starts to slide back here. He's in 5th position. He works just over top of the 93 of Tane Hodison. And we'll take a look here with Tane Hodison right out the rear. Everybody can see this one for sure. And quite frankly, yeah, it's a little bit of an ego stroke here as we take one peek. There it is out of the gearbox. It says, "Howdy, Dave Regal" on the deck lid here of the 93. As we get rocking here on lap number 3, we drop down our timing and scoring. Where else are you going to find a bunch of guys that like their broadcaster that much that they put him on their trucks? As we watch Mr. 305, Randall Watkins, my brother from down there in the Miami-Dade Fire and Rescue Department from Engine 3. As I had mentioned, my housemate in the city of Reading, of course, Engine 3. Since 1962 we've been together, Engine 3 and Ladder 1. And it just so happens that that's the number that Randall Watkins worked off of. Anthony Savignano here, he runs in 8th position, just led fast lap here at 30.64 seconds, just in front of the 06 Oxmoor F-150. It's not a truck, it's a Ford, but, you know, we'll still accept it as they are side by side now. Watch the Okie number 12 work the high side over top of Randall Watkins. He's looking for some kind of speed, but he's riding that top line right now with next. Oh, wow! A whack into the wall. Across the racetrack goes the 27. Randall Watkins, all kinds of wild. Good God. And somebody, wow. Diego Rodriguez just got more airtime than a skateboard at the X Games. I'm pretty sure that he just got more airtime than a skateboard at the X Games. Let's watch the 30. Oh, good God. If this wasn't a simulator, he'd be dead. Let's see if we can watch this from Randall Watkins' point of view, because good God, this was something ugly. Let's go right to the nose. It almost looked like he might have gotten tagged and then shot down to the infield. He had it, he had it, he had it. He came back up. The truck becomes unsettled and he whacks off the 34. Let's see if maybe we can see this again from the perspective of the blimp cam. Good God. Yeah. The 12 might have been in on this one. Let's see where he was here. Let's go right to where... Nope, see, now that's no good. Let's go here to the replay. Let's back this bad boy up because I feel like we need to see this as we got to shut that music off. This is not the time, thank you. As we go live here. I can't tell if Watkins came up or if the 12 came down from that particular vantage point. Let's take one more look at this as we're going to play here And, Watkins came up. He must not have realized that the 12 wasn't there. Now if we can just get back to there we go. So when we go back green flag racing, it's going to be Ben Garrity, Jeremy Paris, Chris Custer, Mike McConville, Anthony Savignano, Tane Hodison, Gabriel Lafreniere, Daniel Moynihan, Derek Bacorn, and Sylvain Jolie. They will be your top 10. As the iRacing.com pace car lights turn out, you can see those playoff drivers here on the left side of your screen highlighted in red. Jeremy Paris right now, your highest running playoff driver. He sits just to the outside now of the Rabbi Ben Garrity. Benjamin Garrity, of course, from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. That goofy end of the state where they say yins and whatnot and so on. Also, of course, the ketchup capital of the world. And as I had mentioned before, Heinz does not just make ketchup, and no, they don't actually have 57 varieties. Anybody who's been paying attention will know why the number 57 is the Heinz thing, and you're always welcome to let me know. Spirit Airlines definitely took off there, but here we go, ready to take off as Benjamin Garrity hits the Geico restart zone. The 65 squats down to the asphalt, and off we go. Side by side, we can see the 93. Oh, Jeremy Paris just took out the 66. You can't face that way. This is not reverse cowgirl. The 66 actually washed up into the 05, and everybody went scattering like cockroaches in the light. Definitely an interesting turn of events here. Let's watch this from the 05's perspective. That's Jeremy Paris. As we can see right here, there's the 66 sliding up the track right across the nose. As we go on board here with the 05, we can see the mayhem breaking out behind. I don't know what paint scheme I like more, Spirit Airlines with my name on it or Jack Daniels. Either way, there's already one Dave Regal truck out of the way, and now Jack Daniels is sitting down here trying to sober up on pit road. Diego Rodriguez saying he did die. Definitely did. Now we have to get a hold of Mike McConville. We usually talk to him on a Monday night, but when I see him here, first of all, if you're going to talk to somebody, make sure it's somebody that you like, and I love this dude. As here he comes, Mikey Mac McConville out of South Jersey. Hey, Mike, it's Dave.
What up, Dave? How we doing, buddy?
I'm doing a lot better than half the field right now, I can tell you that.
Right, dude, we're 10 laps into this race, and they're acting like it's the final 5 laps.
Well, I thought that you could win it on lap 1. Isn't that what everybody said?
You can win it as long as you take the rest of the field out.
I guess that's a thing. I didn't realize that was a thing.
Whew. I mean, I'll tell you, I saw up close and personal that last caution, and
yeah, how tight did you clench your cheeks when you were watching that?
It was so tight it became untight, and man, do I need to change my undies.
Do you want to listen? I can quick send a message to your mom. She can bring them over. Mama. I mean, listen.
Undies.
Undies, one please. One.
Bring me a second one, just in case.
All I could think of when I saw that crap happening around you was, oh, he just squeezed a diamond with his butt cheeks.
Accurate.
Well, buddy, listen, we're here in the Truck Series tonight. It's a different animal from the Xfinity Series. Of course, you know, I mean, the handling of the trucks is so much different from the Xfinity and definitely the Cup Series. What's going to be your strategy tonight? And, of course, I know that you're hanging out with Brandon Minto. So, you know, what are you guys talking about in Race Chat?
Well, right now, we're two lonely guys from two teams that really don't run the Truck Series. So we're teaming up, and I'm going to try to help him out as much as I can this week, and then again next week at Talladega. And we're going to try to get either myself or him in victory lane this week or next week.
So basically what you're saying is he's like your side piece on a Tuesday night.
Nah, he's more than a side piece. He's
Buddy,
the
I'm
main
telling you right now.
He's the main piece on Wednesday or Tuesday.
Man. Listen, all I'm saying is I've thought about this before, especially because of the dedication that the two of you have. Wait, are you one to go or two to go? Okay, now we're one. To go.
We just took one to go.
All I'm saying is if you need to add somebody to the JAR TCR stable, I know that he lost his Xfinity teammate. He would be a great addition to that team.
Hey, not to start any rumors, but there may be a defection going on, and it may not be him.
Oh dear.
So
listen, you heard it
some
here
drama
first,
for off-season.
Look, we need off-season drama to talk about.
Yes,
well,
sir.
listen, brother. Here we are getting ready to go back green, so good luck and go with God. Don't take any wooden nickels, and I'll send a message to your mom and tell her to bring some shorts down. I got you.
Appreciate you, brother. We're going to be smashing some pumpkins in Victory Lane tonight.
My man. All right, Ro. Later. That, of course, the voice of Ferda Motorsports driver Mike McConville. And a little teaser there, folks. Maybe we're going to have a shakeup from the JAR TCR stable. We see the 93 and the 65 there on the front row. They're followed by Mikey Mack and Gabriel Lafreniere in row number 2. Daniel Moynihan rounds out your top 5 with Sylvain Joly, Logan Giesbrecht, Matt Mettler, Will Young, and Keith Long in your top 10. Got to be honest, I really wasn't expecting to see Mettler in 8th position, now 7th. As we come into the Geico restart zone, the 65 squats, and off we go as the loud pedal drops. Those 8-cylinder power plants come roaring to life as we come down into turn number 1. Nearly 3 wide behind. Let's watch the 93 of Tate Hoddison fly around here. I hope he paid for the big front seat because he was ready to sit high, wide, and handsome as he chases down Gabriel Lafreniere. And here's our boy Matt Mettler driving the 64 like he's on a mission to the high side of the 93. He's going to take him on himself going into turn 1. He's found some speed and just enough that the 93 noticed it and took away the momentum by sliding up the racetrack and almost throwing a block. And all of a sudden, here it comes. Ben Garrity and Mike McConville battle it out for the lead, and McConville just blew the doors off of Ben Garrity. I really need to start saying Ben Garrity. I can't keep calling him the Rabbi Ben Garrity. I don't think he's Jewish. He doesn't look Jewish. And all of a sudden, Mikey Mack lays down fast time, and now he can go ahead and set sail. Speaking of high, wide, and handsome, that's my man, Mike McConville, leading the way here at Kansas Speedway. Daniel Moynihan starting to creep in here on the 65 of Benjamin Garrity. Ben here has to throw something here to hold the 53 behind because, you know, once that Duncan Midnight starts running through his veins, good things are going to happen for the 53 as he now gets just to the left rear quarter panel. Now all of a sudden, Moynihan sliding behind Gabriel Lafreniere. Maybe he's going to try to hitch his wagon as a pair of F-150s are going to have to chase down a pair of Silverados It goes Chevy, Ford, Ford. Then the first Toyota TRD Tundra in line is Sylvain Joly as we go on board with him out of Saint-Eustache, Quebec. We all have to get ready to know our French a lot better than usual because hockey season is just around the corner, folks. I don't want to get everybody too excited. But we're just under a week away from getting ready to put the biscuit in the basket for another 82 games. I can't wait. Mike McConville now getting ready to be under assault from Ben Garrity. And here comes the 06 of Gabriel Lafreniere. He suddenly decided that he wants to try to challenge for the lead. And here he goes side by side with Mikey Mac McConville. Here's Mikey Mac taking it to the house. Now it looks like the 06 is going to take the apron for the time being, but we're watching him side by side now with McConville, and they are battling it out like crazy right now. This has got to be one of the best battles that we've seen all week long here, as Mike McConville retains the lead and starts to scamper away from the 06. Watch the 06 and the 65 as we're here watching also the 53 getting ready to get in on this dance. And as we cross the start-finish line, we're 10 laps to go now in stage number 1. As stage 1's going to end at lap number 30. Stage 2 going to end at lap number 60. 134 laps the scheduled distance. 4 total sets of tires, so 3 laid, 4 started as we get ready to roll here on lap number 21. Nearly making contact is the 06 and the 53. And the 93 of Tane Hodison just kind of holding on for dear life at this point. Here's Hodison drafting up behind the 53 of Daniel Moynihan. Now he drops down. He's going to look for a run here. He's going to need as much momentum as possible. He'll swing all the way out to the wall. Now he's got that thing cranked up, and he's got to be able to cut just underneath the 06. Nope. He's going to stay in line with the 06 and see if he can close the door on the 53 of Daniel Moynihan. Moynihan now sliding up the racetrack. He sees what the 93 is doing to him, and he doesn't want that to happen, especially as they're both playoff drivers. Lafreniere, Moynihan, and Hodison, all 3 of those drivers, playoff drivers, as Mike McConville and Ben Garrity lead the way for the time being, as Ben Garrity now has fallen back to 0.3 of a second behind McConville. .24 laps in the books as Mike McConville leads the way here. Let's take a look deeper in the field. Richard Pruitt in the 24. He's about to be overtaken by the 43 of Claude Ferland. Ferland goes side by side with him. They can almost wave at each other and give a tip of the helmet as now the 24 slides back in front of the 43. And that opens the door for the 01 of Matt Mackin to shove one right here between the 43 and the 24. Matt Metler has gone from 8th back to 15th after we restarted the last time. So maybe he just doesn't have the speed that he was hoping for. We talked about it in pre-race, and there's the double natural of Rich Jett out of Schwanksville, Pennsylvania, just a short drive away from here. Of course, here being wherever you are. Whoa! Here being wherever I am, and right now, we're just outside the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. So, fellow 215er here. Laps to go here in stage number 1, and Matt Mackin Now starting to draw in on the 41 of Will Young. We start to see a little bit of action here. Matt Mackin's going to see if he can hurl it underneath. Will has just a little bit too much momentum. We're going to see him get another run here coming out of 2 and down the back chute. There it is. I'm sorry, down the front chute. There it is. As Matt Mackin not able to get down along the apron in the grass. So he's going to have to try it again here, maybe coming through 1, as he is absolutely hammering it right now with the 41. Here we are at the end of stage number 1. Mike McConville crosses the start-finish line. He picks up the green and white checkered flag. He's followed by Benjamin Garrity, Daniel Moynihan, Tane Hoddison, Gabriel Lafreniere, Sylvain Joly, Brandon Minto, Rich Jett, Logan Giesbrecht, and Keith Long. Well, while they get ready to come down and get wholesale pit stops, we're going to take a quick break here. And when we come back, we'll have an interview with Mike McConville.
With the Butt Kicker Gamer 2, what you see and what you hear is what you feel. Butt Kicker. The future is feeling.
The most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $400,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
Welcome back to Kansas Speedway. Let's get a quick chat here with our Stage 1 winner, Mike McConville, as he has been dominant here in Stage number 1. Hey, Mikey Mack, it's Dave.
What up, Dave? How we doing?
Buddy, I'm good, and I'm happy to see that you're up here getting that green and white checkered flag for a change. How does the one truck feel?
It feels real good. We started getting a little loose on exit off of turn 2, but man, we're dialed in tonight.
Yeah, you definitely look dialed in. I mean, that thing was almost on rails. You almost got reeled in and then all of a sudden found an extra gear and burned one away. So, I mean, good for you, man. It was exciting to watch you go.
Well, we got 100 more laps. I'm going to keep it just as exciting.
My man, Pots and Pans, good luck here in Stage number 2. Bring one home for me, baby.
Yes, sir. We're going to get it tonight.
My man. That, of course, the voice of Mike McConville, now driving tonight for Ferda Motorsports as we get ready to go back green flag racing. It's going to be Mike McConville, Benjamin Garrity, Daniel Moynihan, Tane Hodison, and Gabriel Lafreniere, your top 5. Side by side they go down the back chute, ready to rock and roll here. Mike McConville going to have control of the field. Sylvain Jolie, Brandon Minto, Rich Jett, Logan Giesbrecht, and Keith Long round out your top 10. All these drivers ready to strap up and get ready here for stage number 2. Green flag in the air and back underway we go. Tane Hodison, whoa, watch the 27 coming off of pit road. Mike McConville now under assault from the 65 of Ben Garrity. And now the 53 of Daniel Moynihan starts to creep in as they make this a three-way battle for the lead. The 06 and the 93 lurking from behind, waiting for someone to make a mistake. But I don't think we're going to see that out of McConville tonight, as he has all of a sudden decided this is the night. All of a sudden, Ben Garrity making the pass here. Let's take another look at that replay. That bears another look here. Now, Garrity gets a little bit loose coming out of 2. Then he sets himself up behind McConville and just decides to take the run when he sees it coming. But something tells me that Mikey Mack will be back. And quite frankly, one of the things that I see out of drivers like McConville is, Mikey's going to sit here. He's going to take his time. Now, right now, wow, he throws a block right in front of the 53. Good God. Side by side goes the 53 and the 1. All of a sudden, Daniel Moynihan thinks that he can get around Mike McConville, but McConville's got something else to share with him, and that's a little bit of exhaust there out of the left rear. Hot and heavy battle for the lead as we take a peek further back in the standings. Here's Will Young getting ready to try to work his way around the double natural. That's the 77 of Rich Jett out of Schwenksville, Pennsylvania. Rich Jett maintains that position. That's 10th position right now. The 84 of Logan Giesbrecht. Let's take a look there. It says, "Howdy, Dave Regal" on the rear deck lid of the 84. Of course, every time I show that, one of those guys winds up wrecking. Mike McConville now being under assault once again from the 53. This is starting to get a little ugly for Mikey Mack. I don't know if he made a change here to the 1. I hope not. Benjamin Garrity, your race leader. He's followed by Mike McConville and Daniel Moynihan. Things seem to have cooled off right now between McConville and Moynihan as we work lap number 48 on our way to lap number 60. 12 to go this time by as stage 2 is ripping past like a Band-Aid off a boot. Daniel Moynihan now falling back into 4th position. He allows Tane Hodison on by in the number 93. Mike McConville still holding on to P2 as we work lap number 51. 10 to go here in stage number 2. Tane Hodison in the 93 doing whatever he can right now to stay above the cut line, as your playoff drivers in the top 10 are Hodison, Moynihan, Minto, and Lafreniere. They're all in a row. And Rich Jett holding down that 10th position as he's about 4 seconds behind our race leader, Benjamin Garrity, out of Pittsburgh, PA. And Garrity is starting to open up a lead over top of Mike McConville that I don't know if McConville can overcome. All of a sudden, Mike McConville under assault from the 93 of Tane Hodison. Now let's go on board here with Hodison. Hodison trying to chase down McConville, but McConville's got one thing in mind, and that's getting up here to Benjamin Garrity. And with 5 laps to go, I don't know if he's got enough to get it done and get up here. But all of a sudden, we have a 3-way battle for P2 for the end of stage number 2. As Daniel Moynihan chases down McConville and the 93. And all of a sudden, the 53 and the 93 have to decide who's going to be P3 and who's going to go after McConville. And right now, it looks like that decision being made in the form of the 93 of Tane Hodison. Whatever change McConville made to the 1 was not a good one. Two laps to go next time by Ben Garrity with a commanding lead of 1.8 seconds over Mike McConville, who now opens a gap of just about a half second over Tane Hodison. Brandon Minto now working his way to the inside of Hodison. And it looks like maybe Hodison and Moynihan cooked everything they had out already. And this might be a kind of a bad choice for those two drivers, as they allow McConville now to hold off only Brandon Minto. Lap number 59, ready to rock and roll. Benjamin Garrity and Mike McConville lead the way, while Rich Jett back here gets loose, and now he's down onto the apron. He's going to have to allow everybody on by. That's not going to be fun. as now here we are on the final lap of Stage 2. And as he rolls out of turn 4 through the Geico restart zone, Benjamin Garrity wins stage number 2. He's going to be followed by Mike McConville, Brandon Minto, Tane Hoddison, Gabriel Lafreniere, Daniel Moynihan, Logan Giesbrecht, and Claude Furland. That's going to be your stage 2 finishers. We're going to step aside and pay some bills, and when we come back, Benjamin Garrity will be here with us in the Tony Trapasso Memorial Broadcast booth.
The most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic, real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $400,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Welcome back to Kansas Speedway. We're going to get a hold of Ben Garrity, who won stage number 2. Let's get him here out of the 4-wide motorsports stable. Hey, Ben, it's Dave up in the booth. You got me?
Yeah, I got you.
Buddy, listen, you took a great green and white checkered flag here in stage 2. You passed Mike McConville and never looked back. What kind of adjustments did you make to the 65 to make it so strong?
I didn't really make any adjustments. The adjustment that I made was getting around him. The clean air is everything, and I realized that last stage I was able to stick to him, but I was not able to find my way around him because I couldn't run the bottom. So just being able to have that clean air on my nose while running the top was a game changer.
Yeah, I mean, listen, you had his number down, and I mean, I was so impressed with the way that you got around him, and then the patience that you had. I mean, you were hitting every mark every time so consistently. I mean, good Lord. I just, man, listen, what a great stage for you, bro. Here we are going into stage number 3. Let's finish this race out. Tell me what your strategy and what your thoughts are.
Try and maybe do the same thing that I just did. Mike got back out in front of me. I don't know how. I thought I had a pretty good pit road entrance, but apparently he got it better. So got to try and get around him again. And then after that, maybe, hopefully, smooth sailing in green.
All right, buddy. Well, listen, congratulations. It looks like you're ready to go back green. Good luck. Go with God. Don't take any wooden nickels, and maybe we'll see you here on the podium at the end of this piece.
Yes, sir.
That, of course, the voice of the Rabbi Ben Garrity out of Pittsburgh, PA. Of course, the young man, definitely not a rabbi, but why not? Mike McConville going to have control of the field when we go back green flag racing. He's got himself and Ben Garrity on the front row. Brandon Minto, Gabriel Lafreniere, Tane Hoddison, Logan Giesbrecht, Keith Long, Claude Ferland, Will Young, and Rich Jett. As they come out of turn number 4, here is Mike McConville with control of the field. He hits the Geico restart zone, drops the hammer, and off we go. Stage number 3, let's rock and roll. Mike McConville leading Benjamin Garrity. That seems like these two drivers are going to be the ones that we're calling out all night long, even as we look back here. There's Rich Jett in the 77 out of Schwanksville, Pennsylvania. He's got the 62 of John Wilco and the 43 of Claude Ferland just in front of him. As we go on board here, check out the way that this is going to look here for our boy Rich, my fellow Pennsylvanian, as now he drafts right up to the rear of the 43. Rich Jett now working just behind Claude Ferland into 43. And Ferland now having to contend with McAdoo, Pennsylvania's very own John Wilco, as Wilco, fighting for his playoff life here, needs to make some hay and drive deep into the field. I don't see what this paint scheme is tonight for Wilco. Let's take a closer look. Disney's Wilderness Lodge. I hope he's getting free tickets to Disney for that one. A battle breaking out here for the lead. Let's go high above in the blimp cam. Mike McConville now having to contend with Ben Garrity, who now drives past him. They are going to have to get the hammer and tongs out early tonight, folks, as we're working lap number 72. Just more than 40 to go, 60 to go. I can math. My math seems to be more like meth. As the one car of Mike McConville now shoots to the inside. Adam DeRossier cheering on Brandon Minto in the 12, and here comes Benjamin Garrity side by side with Mike McConville. And right now, driver with the best view of this is going to be Brandon Minto as we go on board. He can see these drivers duking it out for the lead, and while that's going on, he's basically able to sit here, hit those marks, and now we're going to try to turn this into a three-way battle for the lead, as looks like Minto is now going to follow his temporary teammate in the one machine as he's able to hold the low line and use all of that racetrack to use the momentum and keep it moving here on lap number 74. 60 to go. What a great battle between Garrity and McConville. Now has settled out, and Garrity gets himself up here into the race lead. And believe you me, McConville and Garrity are far from done yet. Here's McConville now behind the Oki number 12 machine. But a great pass from Ben Garrity as he got around McConville. I mean, just a class act between both of these drivers. And we still have one green flag pit stop left, assuming that we stay green this whole time. It's going to be an interesting finish to this race for sure as we work lap number 77. Ben Garrity, Brandon Minto, and Mike McConville, that's your top three. And McConville and his teammate, Brandon Minto, now exchanging positions. So now McConville runs P2, and opening the door is the 93 of Tane Hodison. These trucks have found a great way to get around Kansas tonight. We had a couple of hiccups early, but now all of a sudden with just 53 laps to go, 52 now at the line, my God, what a barn burner we're about to have. Here's Logan Giesbrecht. He just got around John Wilco, and now he sliced his way past Claude Ferland. He is like a hot knife through butter. And up next on the menu is going to be the 41 and the 71 of Keith Long and Will Young. .85 laps in the books. We go 3 wide here. Watch this. The 24 of Richard Pruitt now between the 08 of Sylvain Joly, and to the low side is John Wilco. The 24, the meat in this sandwich. Watch out. This is going to be a pastrami on rye situation as the 08 scampers away with the 24 in hot pursuit, leaving John Wilco in the dust. Tane Hodison had to get on by Brandon Minto. He started to loosen him up pretty well there. As Benjamin Garrity leads this piece. 0.6 of a second in front of Mike McConville. Gabriel Lafreniere following Brandon Minto. He's going to put some pressure on Minto and work the low side. Watch the 06 Oxmoor F-150 work just underneath Brandon Minto as we go just alongside of them. He's got to tuck down here low. He's not going to have the run at first, but now he shoves one just between himself and Minto. Ben Garrity now starting to hear the Jaws music from Mike McConville as McConville starts to creep in on him. He just went from 0.6 of a second now down to less than 2. All of a sudden, it's going to be a battle for the lead part deux. This is fantastic, folks. Watch this all night long. Mike McConville right now is like a cat playing with a mouse, waiting for it to die. And the mouse is Ben Garrity. Going to take a peek here at Rich Jet for the time being while that battle cools off. And here's Rich Jet still running with John Wilco. It seems like these two drivers don't want to come apart from one another, that's for sure. As we haul it down here into turn 1 and 2. As they roll out of 2, it looks like John Wilco going to have the edge for the time being as he now tries to draft up behind the 0-1 of Matt Mackin. They go down the back shooting into turn number 3, 40 to go as we pass the start-finish line. I want to thank everybody for tuning in tonight. We're going to take one final break here, and when we come back, the finale of our race tonight here at Kansas Speedway.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Master can't defend. He's got the outside line for the second part, and he can't hold on. Going the long way around. We're going to be 3 wide for the lead as they all come to the line. Who is going to take it in the end?
And here comes Lockwood. He's going to make the move to the outside. Quinn tries to force him off a little bit, but there he goes. It's going to be side by side through turn 1.
Will he be able to cover him off? He does. Weaving back to the left-hand side. Reynolds is trying everything. The kitchen sink is being thrown at it. They're leaning on each other. Coming into turn number 3. It's going to be a drag race through 3 and 4. Coming back to the line. Here comes Frisch on the bottom.
Richard's going to hold the inside. Tries to be the late breaker here. They're going to be side by side through the final chicane. They bang doors, but keep it clean.
As they're still 4 wide on the run down into the back straightaway. Demerit's looking for a line as well. What is going on in Michigan?
Novak into the fence. They're still beating and banging. And to the line.
He is much faster coming through there. Is there damage on Challenger? Abramitis is ahead. There's going to be a race to the line. Who is going to get it?
With the Butt Kicker Gamer 2, what you see and what you hear is what you feel. Butt Kicker. The future is feeling.
The most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic, real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $400,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
Preen Garden Weed Preventer and Preen Garden Weed Preventer Plus Plant Food block weeds before they start and are safe for use around over 400 flowers, vegetables, trees, and shrubs. Best of all, they give you 3 months of freedom from weeding in just 4 easy steps. You can apply Preen anytime before or during the growing season. But since it's a weed preventer, not a weed killer, early spring is best. Here's how. Start by removing existing weeds and their roots in the area where you want to apply Preen. Sprinkle granules directly onto dry soil, mulch, or stone so that they're evenly spaced. Within 24 hours of applying, integrate the granules into the top layer of soil or mulch or stone-covered bed. Finally, water with a hose or sprinkler, or a well-timed soaking rain to activate the protective weed barrier. When activated, Preen creates an invisible weed-fighting barrier just below the soil surface that targets and prevents weed seeds from sprouting and forming roots. People and pets may enter the treated area once dusts have settled and the area is thoroughly dry from watering or first rain. That's it. Now you'll have a beautiful weed-free space and 3 months to do anything but weeding. Satisfaction guaranteed. Trusted for over 50 years, Preen is America's #1 weed preventer brand with weed preventers for every type of garden.
Welcome back to Kansas Speedway, where we are now in the waning laps of our cut line playoff race here tonight. 111 in the books. We are now edging in closer to that 20 to go mark. Dave Regal here in the Tony Trapasso Memorial Broadcast booth. Thanks for staying with us tonight as we just came out of our last commercial break. I want to thank everybody for tuning in and, of course, supporting those who support what we do here on Sim Racing Media. I want to thank all of you for hanging out with us. Our new race leader for the time being is Tane Hodison as green flag pit stops have gone underway. We'll wait to see what shakes out here after the pit cycle is complete. Hodison comes down pit road. That's going to cycle Mike McConville, who came in on lap 101, back up to the lead. He's now 2.64 seconds in front of Ben Garrity. After the money stop now, it looks like McConville going to get his lap back as Tane Hodison sits on pit road, getting 4 tires and a tank of Go Fast. And as he crosses the start-finish line, we're now at 21 to go. Mama Mac had to run down some fresh shorts. He got those while he was on pit road. And folks, I want to thank all of you for hanging out with us tonight. Will Young right now running in 3rd position as he came down on lap number 89. The question is, did he come down too soon? And I'm afraid he may have. Oh, he just kissed the wall. Well, that's going to change things. But Ben Garrity has a rocket ship under his seat as he is now chasing down Mike McConville, cutting left and right. Let's watch him make his progress as now he's got to get around another lap truck. I can't see who that is. There's Rich Jet and the 23. That's Derek Bacorn. And let's see what Derek Bacorn has on the old 23 hood. Well, he's got Heinz there. And apparently he prefers sweet relish, and I have news for him. Relish is gross. You know, to each their own, but something about mashed up pickles just doesn't really trip my trigger. And they don't belong on a hot dog. Leave it alone. 20 laps to go. As we have now ripped through with 19 to go. All of these laps. Now it looks like McConville going to get around Chris Claude. That puts him down a lap. And now all of a sudden finding his way through the racetrack is Ben Garrity, who's now just a couple of car lengths behind Mike McConville. And the Red Sea parts, and all of a sudden Garrity can get a full view of that rear bumper of the one, and now he slides in front of Chris Claude, who rubs the wall coming through the tri-oval. And we are going to have a two-way battle for the lead moving forward because there's 10 seconds back to Brandon Minto. He's going to be pretty far set here. And sliding in front of Mike McConville is Ben Garrity. He got the run, and he's not ready to give up. But now he and McConville are going to get the pitchforks and torches out. Here we go into turn one. Here comes McConville to the inside. And as they battle it out, McConville is coming all over the back of Ben Garrity. "17 laps to go, as Ben Garrity now has to hold off Mikey Mack. Watkins is almost too good of a racer to put up a fight there. As we work with now 15 laps to go. Of course, you folks couldn't hear me for the last couple of seconds, but I swear to God I was talking. Sometimes I think the old Stream Deck here has a mind of its own. But right now, you're watching a battle for the ages as McConville and Garrity have just been throwing haymakers at one another. And now Brandon Minto has to hold off Gabriel Lafreniere as Minto, in a Mike McConville setup, is trying to hold off the Oxmoor F-150. Ben Garrity now with a 1.6 second lead over McConville, and McConville now starts to turn on the afterburners, and he's going to have to figure out a way to get up here to Garrity, because I'm afraid Garrity's starting to run away with this thing. Now 1.8 seconds is the gap between Garrity and McConville. 13 to go. Mikey Mack's got to do something here to the one. Mikey Mack came down on lap 101. Garrity 106, so he's got slightly fresher tires, but only by about a nickel. .11 to go now. Benjamin Garrity with a 2.36 second lead over Mike McConville. We go back to Tane Hodison in the 08. He's battling it out right now with Gabriel Lafreniere and Brandon Minto. He's got about 4 seconds to get to Minto, but Hodison now slides around Jolie and gets into the top 5. It's about time one of these guys with Dave Regal on their deck lid has some kind of success. 10 to go, it's dime time. Running in 10th position now is John Wilco, as he's trying to hold on to that last transfer spot. Now, we talked about that. And right now he's tied for 7th position with Tane Hodison. He's got to finish above Hodison. If a non-playoff driver wins, Wilco has to finish above Hodison, and right now he would be not so good. As here's Hodison running in 5th position with 8 laps to go. John Wilco giving it all he's got, Captain. Ben Garrity has now opened up a 3.5 second lead over Mike McConville. What on God's green earth has happened to Mikey Mack? That's going to be a question that we're going to be asking for weeks after this performance. Now, I don't think McConville has anything to worry about because he's not a playoff driver, but at the same time, bragging rights always in effect. We have the cough there, as of course now the microphone has decided to stay open when it should have been closed. 5 laps to go, and 4.45 seconds now the distance between Ben Garrity and Mike McConville. I don't know if Garrity made a change here to the 65, or if he just suddenly found an extra gear here under the hood of his Chevrolet, but a pair of Chevrolets and an F-150 up atop the pile. It's not a truck, it's a Ford. Tane Hodison in the 93 trying to get up around Brandon Minto. And a little three-way battle here as the two of them need to get up to where Gabriel Lafreniere is. So we've got a Canadian, an Oklahoman, and I'm not sure where Hodison's from off the top of my head. Brunswick, Maine. Couldn't remember. 3 to go. Popsicle sticks go in the air. We're 2 laps to go. Benjamin Garrity, after qualifying on the pole, has now shown everyone his tailpipe as he comes out of turn 2 and down past the American Ethanol banner on the backstretch. He comes into turn number 3 with a full head of steam. 4.75 seconds between himself and Mike McConville. McConville without a chance without a snowball's chance in hell of getting up and around him, and there's still 3.7 seconds between Lafreniere and McConville. And as we cross the start-finish line in just a moment, we're going to see it. The white flag's in the air. We're racing back to checkers as here we are coming out of turn 2 down the American Ethanol backstretch. It's going to be Ben Garrity, Mike McConville, and Gabriel Lafreniere. They will comfortably finish here on the podium, barring any type of catastrophe, and I don't think we're going to see that. And Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania's very own Benjamin Garrity brings home the checkered flag back to Pennsylvania as Mike McConville, he's going to finish in second position with Gabriel Lafreniere finishing in third. Tane Hodison and Brandon Minto round out the rest of your top 5, while Keith Long, Richard Pruitt, Sylvain Joly, John Wilco, and Claude Ferlin make up your top 10. Going to get a hold of our top 3 drivers in just a moment. We want to celebrate with them as the fireworks go off here on the backstretch, as we're going to try to pull them all down. Most of them know how to get there. There's Ben Garrity. Let's get a hold of McConville and Gabrielle. Looking for the last driver. Maybe he already moved himself down. Nope. Got to get a hold of McConville. Where the heck is he at? He should be up here in Ferda. There he is. Let's get him on down. And let's get a hold of our race winner. Here is Ben Garrity out of Pittsburgh, PA. Yobot, congratulations.
Thank you.
Buddy, listen, you blew the doors off of McConville. Did you make some kind of crazy swing of an adjustment, or did you just save something for the end?
I made a massive adjustment, and it turned out to be the right one. I'm really happy about that. It was a great swing, and I had the tire advantage for that entire last run. It was awesome.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes you make the big swing and it doesn't work out. This time it does, and it's almost like precision guesswork. But listen, what a great race. You started from the pole. You won from the pole. You managed to show Mike McConville who's boss on the racetrack tonight. I mean, listen, I'm always pulling for my Pennsylvania contingent. All of you guys from PA always do me proud, and tonight you bring home the checkered flag. What a finish. Of course, it's a shame that you're not a playoff driver, but next week we go to Talladega. What's the strategy at the big one?
I feel like my strategy is probably going to be to sit in the back, but there's a ton of different things you could do. You could try and front run and avoid all the wrecks, but personally, I'm just going to try and sit there and be there at the end.
All right, little brother. Well, listen, congratulations on the win again tonight. Before we cut you loose, who helped you get it done on the 65 team tonight, and who do you need to shout out?
Everybody that's watching me and Team Conti Sim Performance, best setups out there.
All right, brother, congratulations, and we will see you next week at Talladega.
Thank you. See ya.
And next up here on the podium is my good friend, Mikey Mac McConville. Mikey, listen, what a finish. I mean, Garrity said that he made a big swing took a big swing at his adjustment, and my God, it seems like he really had that thing dialed in.
Oh, 100%. He took a big swing, and I took nothing because I was on rails at the end of that run when I pitted. And, man, I felt it at the end of the race. I was pushing into the corner, and I was loose on exit. Man, big claps to Ben. He had that truck on rails tonight.
Man, listen, I loved watching you guys battle it out during stage 2, and I even, you know what, the good sportsmanship award goes to you tonight, because I'll tell you what, after he came out and won stage number 2, I mean, after that battle that the two of you had for a while, I mean, I love hearing you key up on the mic and just congratulating him on a great battle.
There's been a lot of times this season where stuff like that should have happened and hasn't. So when it does, you got to call it out. You got to respect it. Man, that was some of the most fun battling I've had with anyone this season across all 3 series. That man has earned my utmost respect.
Well, it's about time you respect something from this side of the bridge.
Hey, I respect Minto.
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, but he's from Oklahoma. I mean, at least Garrity's from Pennsylvania. You know what I'm saying?
It's fair. That's fair.
The problem is he's also like a 9-hour drive away from the shore.
Hey, we all can't live in paradise, right?
Oh, paradise, yeah, southeastern Pennsylvania. Thanks, God. Listen, man, it was just great to watch you guys tonight. I mean, listen, this is why I come to work every Tuesday night. I mean, realistically, you guys keep it exciting for me, and I mean, sometimes I just got to shut up and let you guys race without, running my yapper up here. But you put on a great show tonight, and before we cut you loose, who do you need to thank, and who helped you get it done on the one team tonight?
I want to thank Chris for putting on this league. If it wasn't for him, we could not be here doing this, especially tonight. I know it was a smaller field, but the competition was red hot between the top 5-6 guys. Thank you, Dave, for putting on the broadcast tonight. I can't imagine what you were doing up in the booth with me and Ben, crossing each other over each corner. Always,
but it was so good.
I got to thank all the guys back at the TCR shop. They allowed me to come out and play tonight. They know I had a bad night last night where I had a meltdown, and they were like, Mike, go run trucks, go have fun, go do what you do best, and that's show off. And we showed off tonight. We will be back next week at Talladega, and no prisoners next week.
Listen, that's what I like to hear. That's music to my ears, man. I mean, listen, you definitely showed up, showed out, and showed off tonight, so good for you, brother. Congratulations on the P2 finish. We'll see you next week at Talladega. That's my favorite racetrack on earth, and I can't wait to watch all of this stuff break out next week.
Oh, we're going to put on, if tonight was a good show, we're going to put on a phenomenal show at Dega.
That's what I'm talking about, brother. All right, man, listen, I'll catch up with you later. Good luck, and congratulations.
Appreciate you, brother. Have a good rest of the night.
And last but certainly not least on our podium, Gabriel Lafreniere, driver of the 06 Oxmoor F-150. Gabriel, bonjour.
Bonjour.
What's up, buddy? Listen, congratulations on the P3 finish. You had a great truck tonight. I mean, how did that thing feel?
At the start, the truck was really loose, but Sylvain, my teammate, told me to change my line, so take the 3 and 4 different line, and just catch the guys in front. So really helpful tonight.
Yeah, I mean, you guys put on a great show tonight, and I mean, everybody on the racetrack did a great job keeping it clean for the most part. I mean, how do you keep your race so clean?
Just try to avoid the really close battle with people in front. I don't know, lot of luck, everything.
All right, buddy. Well, listen, congratulations. Before we cut you loose, who do you need to shout out and thank tonight?
Thanks to Chris Claude and you to the broadcast, and my teammate Claude and Sylvain for tonight retro.
All right, buddy. Well, listen, félicitations, mon ami, and we will see you next week.
Perfect. Thanks, Dave.
All right, buddy.
Good night.
Well, folks, another one in the books here in the Tuesday Night NASCAR Truck Series, and of course, we now even get to sprinkle in a little bit of international lingo, if you will. I'm starting to feel like the great one, El Rushbo, at the Golden EIB microphone, because he always had a little bit of different lingo there at the mic. So glad to be able to tip my cap to the great one who first got me interested in broadcasting and, of course, at the microphone. So listen, this race tonight told us a lot about what we're going to see next week at Talladega. These guys are able to race cleanly. We only had a couple of really bad incidents, and that was early on in the race. They kept it clean right up through the end, and as a broadcaster, I cannot be more happy. That's for sure. Before we get out of here, we want to take one final look at our results. Ben Garrity brings home the checkered flag to Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania tonight. He's joined on the podium by Cape May's Mike McConville and Gabriel Lafreniere in third position. Rounding out your top 5 is Tane Hodison and Brandon Minto out of Norman, Oklahoma, while Keith Long and Richard Pruitt finish in 6th and 7th. Sylvain Joly, John Wilco from McAdoo, Pennsylvania, and Claude Furland round out your top 10, with Logan Giesbrecht, Derek Bacorn, Matt Mackin, Chris Claude, and Daniel Moynihan making up your top 15. Rich Jeck comes home in 16th, while Randall Watkins, Mr. 305, comes home in 17th position. Will Young comes home in 18th, with Chris Custer out of Ohio finishing in 19th, with Anthony Savignano rounding out your top 20. Matt Metler, Jeremy Paris, and Diego Rodriguez round out the rest of the field. And, folks, unfortunately, somebody has to do it, and tonight it happens to be Diego. We want to thank everybody for tuning in and for welcoming us into your homes and onto your phones. This is the end of Kansas week here in the SNN Family of Racing Series, and what a week it has been. We'll see you Sunday night right here on Sim Racing Media for Talladega Super Speedway and the Sunday Night NASCAR Cup Series, brought to you by Trisha's Hope and Stacy Strong. And for myself, Dave Regal, and all of my teammates here at Sim Racing Media, I want to thank you for making us a part of your night. And tomorrow and every day as you walk down the road of life, please don't play in traffic. Good night, everybody.